Hey guys, Ryan Earnhardt here from CreativeSoundLab.tv. Well, today we're going to be talking about 5 different ways we can make our rooms sound larger than they really are. So to start things off, we have an SM57, just keep it simple. We'll put it about 10 feet out from a drum kit, and this really could be any source. There's multiple other elements that these techniques could be used for, but today it'll be just for the drums. So here's a starting point, the SM57 about 10 feet out, and we're going to alter this 5 different ways today. Let's check it out. Okay, so not too bad. SM57 really holds up pretty well. It's not a bad mic for a room sound. And not all dynamics, I don't think, can really do this that well. But it's got a lot of mids, got a lot of kind of good mid-lows that I think are pretty pleasing for a drum room sound. But let's try to take this a little bit further. Let's try to get the most out of our room today. The first method to make your room sound larger than it really is to block the microphone. Have some sort of barrier, some sort of wall, a piece of plywood. In this case, I have a 4x10 amplifier that I can just scoot over right in front of that microphone. Let's check it out. Okay, so a guitar amp is something that I had right next to the mic setup. I just scooted over, and all of a sudden, my room microphone sounded a little bit different. It gave me a little bit more mileage to that good, gushy room sound. And it really does make it sound a little bit larger of a room. Now, if you don't have something that you can scoot in front of the mic, maybe it's not convenient. Well, the second method is to null it. So take the microphone and point it directly away from the drums. And this means that the null of that cardioid pattern will be pointed directly at the drum kit. Therefore, we're getting all the room sound and very little of the direct drum sound. If you're using a ribbon mic, then the ribbon mic would look to the side at a 90-degree angle because the null is out to the side of a ribbon microphone. Here's the mic looking at the drum kit. And here's the mic nulling out the drum kit. A third method for making a room sound larger than it really is to use compression. We can use really aggressive compression, very fast attack, very fast release, and this makes it so that the compression breathes and brings up the room sound. And we'll go ahead and use one of the either method 1 or method 2 demos for this. So we're using a barrier, we can use the null, and we're building on this to make it even more roomier. This is adding some compression to the blocked microphone, method 1. Okay, we can hear that the compression does a ton for this. You'd have to watch out for cymbal wash, so that's really the only disadvantage for this. You could try using a de-esser, that's one trick that you could use, or you can add some absorption or some muffling in the room to tame down your bright reflections. The fourth method is to shelve it. So use a high shelf and take out some of that high end. As a microphone gets further away from a source, there's usually a little bit less high end. Now, if you're able to adjust that during mixing, then you're giving the illusion that the mic is actually further away than what it actually is. Let's have a listen to adding some high end versus taking away some of that high end. And we can hear that there's kind of a gut instinct that the microphone seems to be at a further distance away, and therefore in a larger room and a larger recording space. Now, the fifth method to making a room sound larger than it actually is to delay it. So take that room mic, delay it by 20 milliseconds, 40 milliseconds. Now, this has to be carefully done. If you have a lot of your room microphone in your final mix, then this may not work as well. But this is something that with a 20 millisecond delay on that room mic and subtly bringing it up underneath those direct drum mics, you can really give the illusion that your space is actually quite big. About 3 or 4 times the size of your actual room. Let's have a listen to that. Okay, so really cool stuff here. A lot of these techniques can be layered. I would say that the method 1, method 2, either using blocking the mic or nulling the source, I would say that you probably won't use those together. But once you pick one or the other, then you can stack on using compression. You can take out some of the high end and you can delay the microphone. So you can be layering these techniques to get the most possible room sound out of your room mics. And this takes something that is a very simple microphone setup. You do these techniques, all of a sudden you have kind of a new thing, a new sound that you have to play with. So I'd love to know if you've used any of these techniques while recording or during mixing to get the most out of your room sound. I'll be hanging out in the comments below.